Hey guys, Loco here with Froggen. Froggen, you just lost as Cardiff to LeBlanc. Isn't that a counter matchup?
Did I lose lane?
Did you?
I don't know, you tell me. I mean, from my perspective, I did not. I think being up like 20 CS and being able to ulti and getting kills and stuff is slightly winning, maybe.
So, you've actually been on a tear lately, and I will admit I didn't think you would do this well this split. And earlier in the season, I was thinking we're getting what I expected out of Froggen. Froggen's extremely good on control mages. He's extremely good at laning, but he doesn't really roam or spread his lead a lot. But throughout last week, you've been playing more stuff like LeBlanc, roaming a lot. Is that something you put conscious effort into in the last 2 weeks to kind of change up your playstyle? Or were you just doing what the team asked you to do?
No, I've been doing this stuff since week one. I think everyone has the expectation that I have to get 20 kills every game, but I've been playing matchups that are like, you have to win as a team. And it's like, even in the earlier weeks, it's like we are really just messing up as a team and how to fight. And you can see that even now against TL, like we had problems when it came to fighting and actually like playing as a team. They're much better at that than us. So definitely it's a weakness for us and it's something we're practicing. And in those couple of weeks, we were like stuck on champions that like had to fight, and it was like pretty even team comps and stuff, but we were much worse than everyone else at that. And it's just natural. I mean, if you're losing, you're going to look bad. If you're winning, you're going to look good. And when we're losing, we're looking bad, you know? It's like, that's how it is.
So, do you consciously pick some of the champions you're picking, or do you push for some of the stuff you want? Like, Karthus, is it a team overall decision? How much say do you have over your own picks and what you're playing?
I mean, it depends how much of a brat you want to be, I guess, because you can always just force something with like, I want to play Soraka mid no matter what. And like, what are they going to do about it, you know? No, but I mean, we know how the champions work. We know how I do on them, and people can play around it. I think even in this game, where it's like it ends up being like the meme matchup with Kartus versus LeBlanc, and it's really fun for everyone. But you can see like we are able to like push a lead in the early game, and we should have a better team comp later on. I think we like really misplay when we don't get kills or assist with my ultimate on side lanes when I am playing Kartus. And in this game, I had TP too, so it's like I think we should be able to snowball it harder and be more confident on it for sure. Even if it's like and kind of unusual pick, but obviously we have practiced with it before we played it in the other weeks, right? There's some things that changes a bit, like if you pick Kartus into LeBlanc, you don't have a lot of CC on your team, so that has to come from other roles if you want CC, you know? So, I mean, it kind of just depends on what you feel comfortable on and like what the bans are and etc. I think a lot of teams, they kind of struggle when they see something that they're not used to. So it's not necessarily like a bad pick. And I think we did pretty well until like TL is just a really good team right now. And it was really good practice for us.
Going back a little bit into the game, you guys were actually ahead with a comp that was going to outscale them by a huge amount. You guys had Tristana, Karthus on your team. What was going through your head when Deathly jumped in? And you're kind of far away, so you have to cast ult. You can't really get into the fight. Like, you guys could have just set up Baron or set up next objectives. Like, what was happening with the team?
I think in that fight in particular, I think it was Matthew got kicked into the cannon ulti by Lee Sin in that fight when I was far away, and I did have TP and I could TP in for that, but it was a really odd fight because we were going for the turret and stuff, and then we just hard go for the fight when one of us is almost dead. I think Jusung was like 2 HP or something, and we like still go for the fight while they have a flank, and it was pretty weird. That's really like what went through my head because it wasn't very well organized anything, and I think we should be able to play better around Tristana's range and stuff because she can deal a lot of damage. I don't know, I think it's just, I mean, we need to do better at fighting in general, and especially around team fighting, so we shouldn't just rely on having a comp that like is way better than the opponent and then we can start winning fights and things like that. We need to be comfortable in being able to take 50-50 fights.
So, what are you guys actively working on as a team going forward? Because you guys are now almost solidly in playoffs, almost there. Just need a few more wins and you guys have it locked in. Is there something you guys are actively working on or trying to expand as a team?
We would like to play more styles for sure, because I think going into playoffs, like right now, a lot of teams in NA, they go for they're just going to go heavy late game. They're going to hope the other team can't end. And then like they're going to pick up as many wins as possible because it is a close race for playoffs. I think if you end up doing this and you go into playoffs, like you're going to lose in first round. So even if you end up going into playoffs, I don't think it matters a whole lot. So we need to be able to expand. We need to be able to be comfortable playing stuff we haven't practiced a lot, because there will be scenarios with like there's so many picks you can do in each lane right now that it really like just opens up the possibilities if you're comfortable enough in doing it. But you will have low practice because there's no way you can practice like 15 different champions and scrims on like all different roles, you know. So it is about like being confident and comfortable about like what you're doing and having a solid game plan and being able to execute it. So expanding that, I think, would be pretty big for us.
You've had an amazing split so far. Even though the team started 0-4, you really got to show still your prowess for the game. I would rank you at least upper half. I don't think anyone can deny that right now. Was there any moment during the split where you had self-doubt when you guys were 0-4, when you guys weren't getting some of the results in the earlier season and you guys had to play almost all late game? Was there any point during the season you had self-doubt about your abilities coming back?
Not at all. I think every single game in the split so far, I have executed what I should be executing, and I have done exactly what I should be doing, and I've done better in lanes than what I should have. So, I mean, self-doubt, I don't really have any. If I can go even farm with the Lucian in mid lane and lose no turret platings as Galio, there's something wrong with the Lucian player, not really with me, even though I lost the game and he won. I mean, if it was the other side, he would probably have lost. So it's like I'm really confident player, and I do make a lot of mistakes, but it doesn't really faze me that much. I think everyone right now just makes a ton of mistakes. Sometimes lane is not played properly. Sometimes it's in team fights and stuff, and it really comes out of every single player and every single team. But it's never really like if you lose, you're never as bad as you look, and if you win, you're never as good as you look, except for if you're TL, I guess. But I don't know. I don't really have self-doubt.
What's changed the most for you from right now to, let's say, 4 or 5 years ago? Because you've been playing forever. Like, other than season 1, I think you played pretty much every season. So what's changed for you as a player from who you were when you were younger to who you are today?
I think I'm way better at communicating than I was back then. I think that's a big one. How to like be as a person. I have evolved a lot. I mean, not where I would like to be, but it's like back then, like there's a bunch of videos of me on YouTube back from season 2, and you can see me goofing around, and it's like, I look so dumb, you know, like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Super awkward. I don't know, man. All those things are like changed. I think I'm a better leader now than back then for sure. Back then I only focused on playing the game and I didn't care about anything else. For in-game stuff, obviously I have better knowledge and I have improved as a player. Back then, very different game, obviously. You know, some people were building QSS on Graves against Dogard, first item, but yeah, you don't see that anymore.
I see you're just as petty as before.
I'm very petty, yeah.
I think it's why Doran likes you so much, because both of you guys are really petty people.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say anything.
Okay. Any final words to old school Froggen fans, new school Golden Guardians Froggen fans, anyone watching the interview?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching me for so long, and I hope you keep supporting me and the team, and hopefully we will see you guys in playoffs. And also, it was pretty cool today. There was actually some Kartus mains in the crowd, so they've been watching me play Kartus since season 2, so that was a pretty fun experience.
Well, Froggen, thank you so much for the interview, and smash that subscribe button, gamers. Thank you so much to Low-Key Community for making this interview happen. If you guys want to support them, the link is going to be down in the bio.